Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket. Change could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. We're counting down the top 3 most valuable Lincoln pennies ever discovered. That's right, some of the rarest Lincoln pennies in U.S. history, and collectors are paying jaw-dropping prices to get them. From legendary minting mistakes to coins struck in rare metals, these little copper treasures. Yes, you heard me right. A penny from 1964, that's so rare, so mysterious, and so controversial, that only a handful are known to exist. Collectors call it the 1964 SMS Lincoln penny, and it has baffled experts, shocked the coin market, and turned ordinary collectors into treasure hunters. Stick with me until the very end of this video, because we're diving into the strange history, jaw-dropping values, and secret features of this legendary coin. By the time we're done, you'll know exactly why this penny could change the game for coin collecting forever. The background: 1964 was a year of change for U.S. coinage. The U.S. Mint was preparing for a major transition. Silver was about to be phased out of dimes, quarters, and half dollars starting in 1965. Meanwhile, the country was in a coin shortage crisis. Millions of coins were being hoarded, and the mint was under pressure to produce billions of new coins quickly. But hidden behind the scenes, a strange and secretive test program was happening. That's where the special mint set coins, or SMS coins. Errors and varieties. Now, let's talk about errors, because if you find an error on a 1964 SMS Lincoln penny, you're talking about a coin that could reach into the millions. Some known error types that could appear include: double die obverse DDO. If the date or liberty shows doubling, you're looking at an astronomical jump in value. Off-center strike, rare in SMS coins, but if it exists, it would be a one-of-a-kind treasure. Die-polish errors. Some SMS coins show heavy polish lines, which are seen as unique identifiers. Because the total mintage is so tiny, even the smallest variation can turn an already valuable coin into something legendary. Auction sales record values. Now for the part you've been waiting for, the money. The 1964 SMS Lincoln penny has sold for mind-blowing amounts at auction. For example, in 2005, one sold for $48,000 at a heritage auction. In 2012, another sold for $56,000. And in recent years, examples have sold for over $20,000 depending on condition and certification. Think about that, a penny worth more than a brand new Lamborghini. Experts believe that as more collectors realize just how rare this coin is, values could climb into the millions of dollars, especially for coins with unique features or errors. How to identify one in your collection? Now, here's the exciting part: you might already have one of these without realizing it. Many 1964 pennies were saved by collectors in rolls and bags. So here's what you should do: look for that satin-like finish, not shiny like a proof, not dull like a circulation coin. Check the sharp rims and squared edges. Compare details of Lincoln's hair and the steps of the memorial. If you think you found one, don't clean it. Take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Where to sell? If you do have one of these treasures, you don't just sell it on eBay for a quick buck. You'll want to go through major auction houses such as Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, Legend Rare Coin Auctions. These venues have the collectors who are willing to pay 6 or even 7 figures for a coin like this. Tips for collectors. For collectors chasing this legendary penny, here are a few tips. Know the look. Study photos of certified 1964 SMS pennies so you can recognize one instantly. Search rolls and collections. Old rolls of uncirculated 1964 pennies are still out there. You never know. Invest in grading. A coin isn't truly valuable until it's authenticated and graded by a top-tier service. Final thoughts: the 1964 SMS Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a mystery, a treasure, and a dream for collectors. It bridges the gap between everyday change and priceless history. Think about it: a coin worth less than 1 cent to make could be worth more than a mansion today. That's the magic of coin collecting. So the next time you see a 1964 penny, don't dismiss it. Take a closer look. Because one day, you might just hold in your hand one of the rarest coins in U.S. history, one that could make you a fortune. Yes, we're talking about one of the most mysterious and valuable coins in American history, the 1969 Lincoln penny. Stick with me until the very end of this video, because we're going to uncover its strange history, the jaw-dropping prices it sells for at auction, and the exact details you need to spot one of these life-changing coins in your own collection. By the time we're done, you'll know why a single penny from 1969 can be worth more than a Ferrari, a house, or even your entire retirement fund. The background: 1969 was a monumental year in American history. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. The Vietnam War was raging. And at the U.S. Mint in San Francisco, billions of Lincoln cents were being struck to meet America's growing demand for coinage. But hidden among those billions, a rare minting mistake occurred, one so striking that it created one of the rarest and most valuable error pennies ever produced. Record-breaking auction values. Now for the part that makes collectors' jaws drop. The money. Here are just a few examples of auction sales. In 2008, a certified 1969 double-die penny sold for $26,500. In 2014, another example brought in $37,000 at a public auction. And in recent years, high-grade examples have reached over $50,000 at major coin auctions. That's right, this tiny 1-cent coin, something you could find in spare change, has sold for more than most houses in the United States. Experts predict that the next time a pristine, top-graded example comes to market, it could easily cross the $1 million mark. How to identify one? So, how do you know if you have one of these treasures sitting in your collection? Look for these markers: bold doubling, especially on the date, Liberty. Mint mark S. Remember, the 1969 double die always has the S mint mark for San Francisco. If you find one without the S, it's not the right coin. Die markers. Experts have noted die scratches and polish marks unique to this variety, which graders use to confirm authenticity. Condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Even a circulated example can bring tens of thousands, but uncirculated coins are where the 6- and 7-figure values come in. Where to sell one? If you're lucky enough to find one of these coins, don't just throw it on eBay. Here's the smart move: get it graded, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. Without certification, no collector will pay top dollar. Auction houses. The best venues for selling are heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections. They have the clientele willing to drop hundreds of thousands of dollars. Don't clean it; even wiping it with a cloth can slash the value by 50% or more. Keep it. Collector tips. For those chasing the dream of finding one, here are some practical tips. Search old rolls. Bank-wrapped rolls of 1969 pennies are still out there in collections. Estate sales. Older collectors may have tucked one away without realizing its value. Know the look. Study certified examples online so you can recognize the doubling instantly. Stay patient. This is a coin most collectors will never see in person. But remember, people have found them in circulation before. Final thoughts. So, the next time you spot a 1969 penny, don't dismiss it as just another cent. Take a closer look. Because one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history could be hiding in your change jar right now. Imagine holding a penny that could be worth millions. That's the magic of the 1969 double-die Lincoln penny. And who knows, the next one could be found by you. Yes, you heard me right. One of the most shocking error coins of the modern is the 1983 copper Lincoln penny. A coin that technically shouldn't exist, yet a handful of examples have slipped through the cracks of the U.S. Mint, and today, they're worth a fortune. Stay tuned, because in this video, we're diving deep into the history, mystery, and unbelievable values of this legendary error penny. By the end, you'll know exactly how to spot one, where to sell it, and why collectors will pay life-changing money for this 1-cent coin. The background. To understand why the 1983 copper penny is so rare, we need to step back 1 year to 1982. Until 1982, all Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams each. But rising copper prices meant that the metal inside the penny was worth more than the coin itself. It cost the mint more to make a penny than the penny was actually worth. So in 1982, the mint made a historic change. switching to a cheaper zinc core with a thin copper plating, weighing only 2.5 grams. From then on, pennies were no longer truly copper, they were mostly zinc with just a copper coating. How to identify one? Think you might have a 1983 copper penny. Here's how to check: weigh it. Use a precise digital scale. If it weighs 3.11 grams, you may have the copper error. If it's 2.5 grams, it's normal zinc. Magnet test. Pennies are not magnetic, so this won't confirm much, but weight is critical. Sound test. A copper penny has a distinct ringing sound when dropped, compared to the dull clink of zinc. Certification. Ultimately, you need PCGS or NGC to confirm it officially. Auction record sales prices. Now for the jaw-dropping part, the values. In 2013, a certified 1983 copper penny sold for over $15,000. In 2017, another example reached nearly $20,000 at auction. Experts believe that if another high-grade example appears, it could easily hit $50,000 to $60,000. And here's the kicker: if a truly pristine, uncirculated specimen comes to market, or one with an additional error, it could break into the six-figure or even million-dollar territory. Think about it: a coin worth 1 cent suddenly becomes worth more than a luxury car or a dream home. Where to sell one? If you think you found a 1983 copper penny, here's what to do: get it weighed. Confirm it's 3.11 grams. Submit for grading. PCGS or NGC must authenticate it. That certification is your golden ticket. Choose the right venue. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or Great Collections are the best places to sell. Don't clean it. Cleaning can ruin the surface and slash the value in half. Tips for collectors and treasure hunters. Want to chase this rarity yourself? Here's how: search bank rolls. Pennies are cheap to search. One roll costs just 50 cents, you never know. Estate collections. Older collectors may have saved rolls from 1983 without knowing. Focus on 1982-1983. These transitional years are where the biggest surprises hide. Invest in a scale. A digital gram scale is the most important tool for identifying off-metal errors. Final thoughts: the 1983 copper penny isn't just a coin, it's a contradiction. A mistake that shouldn't exist. A penny that turned into a treasure. It shows us that even in the modern era, when the mint is supposed to be precise and efficient, errors can and do slip through. And when they do, they can turn pocket change into life-changing fortune. So the next time you spot a 1983 penny, don't ignore it. Put it on a scale. Because you might just be holding a penny worth tens of thousands or maybe even $1 million.